Let's talk about something that could fundamentally change what it means to be human. It's a story that really begins with a pretty chilling final thought from one of the greatest minds in history.
Right before he passed away, Stephen Hawking left us with a final book. And inside, he shared this startling prediction. I know, it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, right? But Hawking wasn't just dreaming up some distant, far-off future.
No, he was talking about a very real technology that he believed could literally create a new kind of human, and in the process, split our species right down the middle. So Hawking's prediction was this. Soon, the wealthy might decide that simply preventing illness isn't enough. They could choose to edit their own DNA, and their children's, to actually enhance basic traits. Things like memory, resistance to disease, even their lifespan. This, he said, would create a race of self-designing beings. So how could that even be possible?
Well, for billions of years, life on Earth has been shaped by just two things: random mutation and natural selection. But very recently, we stumbled upon a way to take the randomness out of the whole equation. You could say we found evolution's edit button. And you know, that brings up a really personal question, doesn't it? If you had the chance, is there something you'd change about yourself? I mean, right down at the genetic level. Because for the first time in human history, our ability to do that is no longer a question of if, but how.
The tool that makes all this possible is called CRISPR. Now that's a mouthful. It stands for Clustered, Regularly Interspaced, Short Palindromic Repeats. And what's so fascinating is that this world-changing technology wasn't invented in some high-tech lab. It was discovered in the immune system of bacteria.
That's right. It turns out bacteria have this amazing little defense mechanism. When a virus infects them, they actually snip out a piece of the virus's DNA and store it in their own genetic code. It's like they're collecting a gallery of mugshots, creating a memory of past infections.
So if that same virus tries to attack again, the bacteria uses that stored mugshot to create a guide that hunts down the invader's DNA. As soon as it finds a perfect match, an enzyme called Cas9, which is basically a pair of molecular scissors, comes in and just cuts the viral DNA, stopping the infection in its tracks. The breakthrough came when scientists realized they could hijack this system. They could reprogram that guide to find and cut any piece of DNA in any living thing.
The scientific world went absolutely wild for this. It took off almost overnight. And why? Because compared to the older ways of doing this, which were clunky and expensive, CRISPR is incredibly precise, it's pretty cheap, and it's shockingly easy to use. The MIT Technology Review was not exaggerating when they called it the biggest biotech discovery of the century. So what do we do with this kind of power? The potential is it's breathtaking, and it all starts with the ability to heal and cure on a scale we've only ever dreamed of. I mean, really think about this for a second. We are talking about the potential to permanently cure some of our most devastating diseases. Things like various types of cancer, HIV, hereditary conditions like sickle cell anemia, and countless other genetic defects that cause a lifetime of suffering. This tool could wipe them out of a family's history forever.
But this is where that bright, clear line starts to get really blurry. There's this huge ethical debate between using CRISPR for therapy, fixing something that's broken, and using it for enhancement, making someone better than well. So on one side, you have curing a terrible disease. On the other, you have improving memory and intelligence. Or what about eliminating the risk of HIV versus engineering resistance to all diseases? You can see how the line between healing and upgrading gets pretty thin pretty fast.
And this brings us right back to Stephen Hawking's warning about a society divided. And it turns out he was not alone in his fears. This is a concern that is incredibly widespread. A study from the Pew Research Center actually found that a majority of American adults are worried about these human enhancement technologies. And their biggest fear? That these tools will only be available to the wealthy, which would dramatically increase the inequality that already exists and create a kind of genetic gap between the haves and the have-nots.
Data is one thing, but hearing how people actually talk about it is another. During one of those focus groups, a participant put this deep-seated fear into words.
They said this technology could be used to make supermen who could probably get away with anything and nobody could stop them.
So you see, this isn't just a conversation about technology anymore. It's a conversation about us. It's about the kind of future we want to build, and frankly, the kind of species we want to become.
And this all builds to a final, crucial point. For the entire history of life on this planet, evolution has been a game of chance, of random mutation and natural selection. But not anymore. For the very first time, a single species, us, holds the tools to take direct, deliberate control of its own evolution. The power to redesign ourselves is here. It's real. We are standing on a precipice that was unimaginable to every single human who came before us. So the question is no longer if we can do this, the question is if we will. And if we do, what wisdom will we use to guide our hand?